All right, we're going to start over again. Good morning. How are you? My name is Vicki, or Miss Vicki, whatever you want to call me if this is your first time here. And I want to say this is Vlogmas Day 8. I did do just a short yesterday because that's all I felt like doing. All right. So today we're going to talk about whatever that comes to my head. I don't have anything planned. It's hard for me to, or let's just say I don't plan. I should, I need to make me out a list of what I want to talk about this week, and maybe I'll get it done and maybe I won't. And my nose is itching, so that's telling me I probably won't. Okay, now, just so you know, it's Monday, December 8th, 2025, and it's 36 degrees here where I am in North Carolina. We're supposed to have a changeover to snow eventually. It's raining right now. I'll believe it when I see it, and that's when my camera stopped a minute ago because the alarm went off. So that's all I see there. So let's go on and get with the opening of the Advent calendar. I should have brought it over, but I didn't. Oh well. Okay, so today is day 8, and this is the Grinchmas, how the Grinchmas stole Christmas. They're little ornaments, and I'm putting them on the tree. And this is the Grinch. It looks like he's holding a book. So they're starting to all look alike, or they seem to me that they're starting to look alike. All right. I don't have on the mic today because I've listened. I prefer no mic. But if you prefer the mic, then maybe I'm not the creator for you. I don't know. Anyway, I'm having my coffee in my llama cup. And makeup today is pretty much the same. Dior Glow Foundation. You're hearing the rain hit the vent over here, in case you're wondering what that noise is. And I'm wearing my little Christmas hat that does light up. I had it on blinking, and then I just set it to stay steady because I know that blinking can be, not good for some people. All right, we're going to talk about Tim today. I really didn't. Did I talk about him much this week? Weekend. I guess I talked about him some Saturday, but not a lot. But we'll talk about him a little more today. One thing I've noticed I had to go look because I noticed he hadn't been mentioning the rain. Certain parts of Florida has been having rain, and most of it has been north of him, I believe. I did look and see, did it snow? Did it rain in Bradenton yesterday? And it said no, so I guess he didn't get any yesterday. And because I was wondering why he wasn't mentioning it, because like I said, it's flooding up in other areas. And I know Tampa and I think St. Pete and Orlando were getting hit pretty hard last night. There was also water spouts I saw. So if you're in the path of that storm, I hope you're okay. I hope it was nothing that extreme. That area tends to flood anyway a lot, but I hope you're all right. Okay, we're going to talk about, he just put up a video as of 7 o'clock this morning. It says, this was put up at, well, it's not telling me where I'm at. He only has 2 comments, so it just went up. This is the morning chat. He says that it's 4:30, but his clock says that it's 5:30. So I guess he never switched his clock, which I didn't switch my clock in the bedroom. So anyway, we'll look at the summarization, and then I'm going to move on to something else. This morning, of course, he always starts out talking about his coffee. Yes, I'm drinking my coffee. I am drinking Dunkin' Donut decaf. I'm on decaf. My first cup was not decaf. It was the Don Francisco Hazelnut, and then I went on to the decaf. I woke up yesterday evening with my heart racing. I was having a bad dream, so I'm assuming that's what caused it. Anyway, it just kind of scared me because I think I'd had like 3 cups of coffee yesterday, so I thought I've got to get to the decaf and quit doing that. But like I say, I think it was the dream I was having that was causing my heart to race. Anyway, morning routine, coffee preparation, you know, he discusses the challenges of buying water in bulk at stores like BJ's. What's that all about? Then he talks about he tests his microphone and reflects on the early morning start, expressing his need for coffee. Okay, that's the second part we've seen about coffee. Tim shows his Christmas lights and turns on his electric fireplace without heat due to warm temperature. He also corrects the time on his automatic watch, noting the actual time is 4:36 a.m. So I guess he's got out his fake Rolex. That's what I call it. He can call it whatever he wants to. I don't care. It's a fake Rolex. And I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the watches at all. I don't know anything about them. I know you can buy them on cruises. I know you can buy them in stores. I think there might be one store around here that has them. Of course, it could have closed. When I say around here, I mean in Winston-Salem, which is 50 miles away, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with the watches. Please don't take that I'm saying there's anything wrong with them. They're just not Rolexes. And honestly, I don't get it with the Rolex. Just saying it like it is. If you want a Rolex, that's fine, but I just wear my Apple Watch. And if I didn't have an Apple Watch, I'd wear probably something else that was, it would never be anything really expensive. Chances are it'd be just something I picked up at Walmart to tell the time if I wasn't wearing my Apple Watch. My Apple Watch is, I think, Series 3. I'm not sure what series we're on right now, but I think it's Series 3. I did think about getting a new one this year, but then I think mine works fine. No need to. The battery don't last as long as it once did, but it still gets me through the day, and that's all I need. All right. Now, he talks about eggs, preparing eggs. Oh, that's so exciting, y'all. And I know I'm not any more exciting than him. Please don't think that I think I am. I'm not. It's just, he's the one that's wanting to be a YouTube star, not me. I'm just wanting to talk. I mean, yeah, I want to make a little few bucks on the side. But as far as being somebody that has 100,000 subscribers and getting millions of views, you know, if it happens, I guess I'll have to live with it. But I don't think it's going to happen. All right. Talks about his motorcycle and the YouTube algorithm. He mentions wanting to ride his motorcycle and how he reset his YouTube algorithm to get recommendations for Gold Wing motorcycle videos to reignite his excitement for riding. Well, isn't that special? Isn't that special? Concluding thoughts on his audio and video, Tim wraps up the video, noting in length, confirming that the audio is working without the external microphone, though he plans to use it in future videos. Also, he talks about bleached coffee filters and that he only uses white. And it's, I don't understand what he's talking about there. Of course, he says, when I click on it on the AI thing, it says the answer to that question isn't in the video. However, the video features Tim starting his day early, making coffee, discussing his diet and exercise, and reflecting on his motorcycle. So I don't know why the coffee filters are mentioned. That was neither here nor there, was it? All right. Let's look at what he put out yesterday. Now, I am assuming from what I'm seeing, Miss Tammy is gone, or she's returned to wherever she came from, be it an apartment, condo, over on the East Coast in Delray, up in Charlotte. I don't know. I don't know where she's at. And guess what? I don't care. He just wanted to make sure that we knew that she was there for ever how long she was there. As I said before, if she drove 9+ hours to see him and then 9+ hours back, she really needs to think about it. I mean, I don't see what is so great about driving to see him. but maybe I'm not supposed to. I just feel like that wherever she's at, there's other eligible men. But that's why I assume she loves him. And I don't know why. But she does. I believe she does. Or they're codependent on each other, as I've heard other creators say. It's hard to know what is probably somewhere in the middle. And neither one has found anybody that they feel probably that can put up with them, is what it amounts to. So, in this video here, from yesterday, this is where it kind of seems like she's gone. Now, he says it's early morning. I don't know what time it is. I don't see the clock. But it seems like she has gone to wherever she came from. And, you know, that's why I figured that she was only there for a short time, if she is living in Charlotte. Of course, he brings up yesterday as being Pearl Harbor Day. And I didn't mention that, and I apologize. If that's the case, I know that's a big day. In my mind, but again, I want to thank anybody out there that served. I appreciate everything you've done. And if I could go on, but there's no use to, and I'm not going to be fake about it, but I do appreciate it. Okay, this is where Tim talks about that stupid coffee and how much to measure, and he just drinks colored water, in my opinion. I want my coffee a little stronger than what he drinks it, but that's just me. But in my opinion, he drinks brown water. But I guess he likes it, and I guess that's all right. That's really about all that's in that video. We'll look at the comments. Yeah, he's talking about he's having a hard time uploading. That's the case with everyone. Unless you're trying to upload with you got a hard line running into it, your computer. I think it's difficult to upload anything, especially in 4K. Now, I know it depends on the lighting, as I've said before, whether I can whether I can record in 4K or not. It's always set to record on 4K. But if the lighting is bad, it's not going to record that way. I know that. So when I'm here at the house, I don't seem to have a problem. When I get in the car or the truck, that's when I seem to have a problem. And like this morning, it probably won't be daylight till after 8 o'clock, as dark as it looks right now. Okay, he put up an evening chat, which was not very long for him. He's inside, he's not outside. And he's not talking about much of anything. Again, y'all, he says he doesn't put up a video just to put up a video. We know that that's a crock. I mean, he's always putting up videos. He talked about the Aldi thin ribeye steaks being awful. Y'all, I've never had good meat from Aldi. I mean, if you have, great. But me, I have never had good meat from Aldi. I think sometimes it depends probably on the Aldi when it came in, but give me Walmart meat any day over Aldi's meat. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. I prefer the thin ribeyes from Walmart, and I don't like thick ribeyes. I want thin. I'm assuming they're beating them to make them thin. I don't know how they get them, but they taste better to me, but maybe that's just me. Now, I am not carnivore or even probably close to carnivore right now. I always watch my carbs, but I'm not as strict as I was maybe a month ago. And, I'll get back to I haven't gained any weight back, but I'm not being as strict. I'm just more or less watching my calories. Now, I still think about those cinnamon rolls and cinnamon bread that was in that video that day. And, I can't get them out of my mind. And I looked up the recipe on how to do the copycat recipe for Dollywood, and I'm thinking, that's a lot of work.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
I mean, that's a lot of work. All right, let's see what else we got to talk about here. Who else do I like to talk about besides, everybody wants to talk about Nomadic Fanatic, and, you know, I'm just not really, you know, we'll talk about the NASCAR lawsuit. Just briefly, I didn't talk about it on Friday. Michael Jordan testified. He was not up on the stand very long because the judges told him they got to get it moving. They got to get it moving. You know, it's me. I go backwards and forth on what I want to happen. I still wish they would just say, let's settle this thing and be done with it. We don't want it to go to the Supreme Court. And I mean, that's what everybody keeps saying is going to happen at this point. But I just don't understand why they can't just come to an agreement. You know, NASCAR, they could let some more investors come in. You know, there's plenty, I'm sure, out there that would love to come in. And, you know, that way they'll get it away from just being the France family and, you know, make the charters permanent. You know, they don't have to give them exactly what they want, but they can compromise. You know, that's what it's all about, is compromise. But I just don't want them to get it to the Supreme Court, because you know what's going to happen there. You know, that the one thing I've noticed, you know, everything seems to be going on as planned for 2026, although we've not heard the rule change as far as the championship's concerned. I did watch the Formula One race yesterday morning. Y'all, I just don't get Formula One. I tried. I was glad the guy won the championship. That was who I picked to win. Because, you know, I have to have a driver to pull for. Of course, he didn't win the race, but he won the championship. But the whining noise of it kind of gets to me. And I don't know. I just don't. I mean, maybe I need to watch more, and I'll get into it. I do love racing in general, and I don't care what they're racing. I don't care what model car they got. You know, everybody, some people are just a Ford or Chevy or whatever. I don't care what they drive. I just want to see them race. That's just all it amounts to. But, you know, I thought, well, I need to get more into Formula One. Everybody else is. Well, but I'm trying. I'm trying. And maybe I'll try to watch some, you know, old races over the off season and try to get into it more. All right, that's all I see today I want to talk about. I did see where, if we talk about the villages just a minute, Jerry and Linda, he went out on the street. I like those videos where he's doing now, where he goes out on the street and he talks to residents there or people that are visiting and ask them questions. Well, this week he was asking them questions about the rumors, of course, of being a lot of STDs, swingers, and all that stuff. And only a few of them had even heard the rumor, but then they said they hadn't seen it there. And I probably would agree that, I mean, I read how the rumor started was that somebody was ticked off about something that happened in there. They went on social media and started spreading the rumors just for meanness or just for revenge. And I know supposedly there was a doctor that said there was more STDs there than anywhere, but show me the proof. Show me the proof. And what I mean by that, show me the data. Who are you putting it up against? Blah, blah, blah. But I don't believe anymore. I mean, I'm not going to say there's not nobody in there because, I mean, you're looking at 150,000 people living there now or close to it. So I'm sure there's some there, as there are anywhere. I'm sure there's some here in this county. I just don't know where they are. And I don't want to, I mean, if that's what they want to do, hey, have at it. You know, that's all I got to say about that. I see where German in Venice is in Florida. So Mr. Wu is missing him because Adam the Wu is over in Europe. Don't know when he's coming back, but he's over in Europe. I saw that, of course, I told you the Gatlinburg parade was Friday night, and then the Sevierville parade was Saturday. Now, our parade was Saturday. I couldn't get Dave to go with me, so I didn't go. I should have went and just sat down the tripod and recorded it myself, and, you know, but I might go to Boone next week, or I might not. Might go to Tanglewood next weekend. Not sure. Anyway, They were both, I think that Gatlinburg was a little longer, but they were both pretty much the same parades in different towns. But that's not surprising. All right, I've talked long enough. I'm going to go, and if we happen to get any snow on the ground, I'll put up a little short on it. I don't think we will, but I'll put out a little short on it. So I appreciate all of you watching, and if you've got this far, I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't. If you like the video, click the thumbs up, and leave me a comment. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you for following me during Vlogmas, and I will talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.